Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the King's Table podcast. My good name is Wise Kenya International, coming to you all the way from Creative Economy Practice in Lavington, Jahazi Building, James Kishuru Road. So, without further ado, today we have amazing guests, very talented guys from behind the scenes to in front of the screens. So, without further ado, naezapenda sana waji-introduce, starting with the man on my left, which is your right.
Lakini si wanasemanga ladies first, but anyways, my name is MC Joe the Blessed and hope you're having a beautiful day. Hii podcast tukianza unafaa uketi vizuri, usikize, uenjoy because it's going to be a very beautiful session.
Hello. And the one and only.
Hello, good people. My name is Margaret Kathini. Yes. Should I say what I do? Ama what am I supposed to say in the introduction?
I don't know. Introduce when unaweza taka.
So mimi napenda kuongea na si eti vitu naongeanga zinakuanga content. Napenda tu kupiga story. I am a journalist, professionally content creator, photographer, videographer. I'm upcoming public speaker.
I'm a whole package. Mtu mwenye kwa behind the scenes anashtuka.
Yes, so that is what I do. Yeah, and I'm a child of God.
Amen.
I think mimi sikusema hizo vitu.
Wewe child of God.
Wewe unajui kujiintroduce ni sawa.
Kwa majina naitwa Joel Kiremi. Nisalimie watu. Na mimi ni MC, mkiwa na harusi, mkiwa na corporate event, mimi ndio MC wenu. Pia ningependa kusema kweli mimi pia my hype man, wanaruka kidogo, narukisha watu kidogo. Na pia mimi ni accountant, mkitaka kuhesabiwa pesa ni mimi na hesabu. Na pia niko kila mahali Kenya. Mkitaka Diani niko kila mahali niko. Asanteni.
For those who don't know, we have an NGO and he's the treasurer. Hizo maneno za pesa sasa. Sasa but you need commercial break. And then behind the scenes we have the man himself, Aklado Jogure, with how many E's? With 3 E's. And the one and only. By the social zako mimoni?
Mimo.crochet.
Mimo.crochet.
She does
crochet na CH ama SH.
CROCHET.
Okay. Unajua crochet ni different.
Yoga. Yeah.
Hey, yoga instructor professional. If you didn't know. Yes. So for those who don't know what yoga is, please tafuta mimo.crochet, si ndio? Akupange,
mi uoga.
Wewe kwenda.
Ama waseme hiyo.
Mambo yako ni
So, leo tunaongelelea very many things and very few things at the same time because of time.
Yeah.
So before we start, there is I think ni venye simu iko huko mbali na sitaki kunini, but mnaweza nikumbusha. Tulikuwa tunaanza na story ya the current news, vitu zenye zinafanyika sasa, ndio?
Okay.
And there is a war that is happening.
Yeah.
Ile kamera iko hivi.
Ngoja.
But ni sawa. Inaniangalia vizuri.
Iko sawa.
Iko tu sawa?
Yeah.
Sindio?
Speaking of war.
So war ina happen sai.
Yeah.
There's a lot of countries in even before we go to the States.
Yeah.
There's something that is happening in South Africa. I don't know if you guys have heard. There are a lot of people who started businesses in South Africa now, or even other people are sick and going to hospitals.
Yeah.
And they are beaten to get out. Not even removed. They are the locals and the county governments. I don't know if they call them counties or what. But wanaenda kwa hizo mabiashara, wanawachapa, wanawaforce watoke, wanasema they are immigrants, they're not supposed to be in their country. And these are fellow Africans. The person that was being beaten was a TZ, was a Tanzanian.
Yeah. I think I saw that.
You saw that?
Yes, I
so
did.
And then there are other situations where unachiki watu wako kwa hospitali, mtu anaenda kutritiwa, watu wanatokeleza out of nowhere, wanarekodi, wanasema hawatatritiwa.
Wow.
Because they're immigrants. So you wonder, okay, so have we reached here as Africans where we are fighting ourselves without understanding?
Yeah.
Nani ndio wanapulizi strings? Because niko nashanga, okay, does it mean that hakuna wa South Africa wenye wako nje ya South Africa ama South Africans tu wako ndani ya South Africa?
Yeah.
Because wakisema wanataka South Africa iko ya South Africans peke yake, does it mean that they will never get to experience collaboration with other countries? Unaona hiyo kitu, what do you think about that?
I think first of all kitu naweza sema with time as I'm growing, I'm getting to know that we as Africans we are our biggest enemies. sometimes it's not really the white men as we put it out there. Ni sisi ndio enemies. Niliona hiyo clip by the way. And there's that Tanzanian guy alichapwa, nilisikia vibaya sana. Nicola, this is your brother. This is your bro. We have a lot of South Africans doing business here in Kenya. Tuko na Tanzanians, we have one famous South African journalist anawak kwa mainstream media Uganda, anaitwa Victoria something. She's a journalist but she's employed by the Ugandan government. Na hakuna Uganda na kuna issue na yeye. So mimi niliona hiyo kitu nika feel sad that tumefika hiyo place, you know. Other countries that are outside Africa, they are united and like place tuseme kama states. States zimeshikana, states mingi yenye ni kama tunaweza sema United States of Africa, ni countries zote zimeshikana and it's the same. Hakunanga hiyo division among people. Unless sasa umefuata kwa history ndio utajua kuna hawa Latino sijui wametoka wapi, but they are united. Mtu anaweza decide to live in this country, mtu anaweza decide kuishi kwa country yenye anataka, and it's allowed, it's a free world for them. But now unakuja unaona Africa tuko na vitu kama hizo na kuona ina originate South Africa where there are a lot of things that are happening because again they have white people who live there and everything. Hiyo kitu ili raise eyebrows to other Africans, like Nigerians wali condemn sana, pia a few Kenyans and Tanzanians. So inamaanisha tuachie country yao, and again they cannot work alone, you know. We have to be united. There are things that they need from us, there are things that we need from them. So I think your behavior yenye inafaa kuwa condemned because we need to work together, you know. We are the same people. What do you mean you're South African, I'm Kenyan? We are black. I mean tunafanana. It makes sense.
True man.
Yeah.
I think umesema kila kitu because just yesterday, previous day, ulikuwa unasema maneno na you did go to Ethiopia. And when you did go to Ethiopia, it was very hard for you to deal with money because our money and everything, you know. And si ati umeenda sijui majuu ama ni Ethiopia hapa tu our neighbor. Unaget? So the point is, ukiangalia European countries, unasikia hadi umejita European countries. See, African countries, like they don't have, like hatuko na hiyo unity. Na venye amesema we are our own enemies. The whites are not. Ile time tutadiscover sisi wenyewe ndo tunaweza. Like we can unite ourselves. We get to cooperate and we get to do things as African, because the whites when they come in Africa, kitu wanasema this is heaven on earth. Because of the climate, resources we have. They see it and they see how people wanatuona sisi we are united and we are happy, we are rejoicing, you know. It's like heaven on earth for them. So for us, I think we are our own enemies. So for the South Africans, when they get to know that hakuna difference, it's just hizo maps ndio zimesema hii ni Kenya, hii ni nini,
which is even false. That thing doesn't exist.
Kwanza wakisema ati South Africans ndo wabaki, utapata it's maybe 20 to 30% they are originally from South Africa.
Yeah, it's a real pandemic. There is I've been, I don't know why, but my FYP image PLO Lumumba, and there are some speeches that he's been making lately, even in regards to Africa, and how it baffles him that the same thing you said in regards to USA, like there are different countries that came together to make a United States of America. Why is it that Africa finds it so hard for us to get to just work together? Why is it that you need 54 different passports to move to one continent? Why is it that when you go to a specific country like Ethiopia, you can't transfer, like transaction ya pesa ni very hard?
Niko na nini? Nimefikiria. Unaona venye huko kuna kwanga na wachawi. Wachawi wa huko kwao, ma whites. Wawezi wanamchawi ati sijui huyu anaroga anti, huyu anaroga nini. Wao wanashughulika story na do, like money. They think money and how they can have the success get in any ways. But kwetu unasikia usiende kijijini, ukienda kijijini mtu wangu.
Hata sijaenda ushago kwetu, imagine, because of the same thing. Tangu nizaliwe sijaenda shags. Sasa nikwambianga sijaenda shags because unaambiwa ukienda huko utarogwa. So you wonder.
So unaona, that's my point is, ukiona sasa like unaona hakuna unity from the start. Kama relatives tayari. hadi wacha wetu manze simu my dad is a pastor na alikuwa anasema
nafikiri utasema your dad is
my dad is a pastor and kuna time kushaikwa na night runners in the house and then
nyumba yenyu ni kubwa
and then nikapiga
kuna night runners
nikapiga unajua huko ni cost so cost ziko hizo vitu
hiyo najua
so after zimepiga hivi dada akamekjoka akania in the morning akaniambia there was this but akaniambia mbona wase haizi kimbe hivi venye anapita kwa wall ainge tu hivi kwa bank achukue tu do get like they don't like
na hiyo night running yake
ainge tu hivi kwa bank na hiyo
wall. I think one of the things I've noticed especially with I don't know if it's our generation or the older generation like meona hii stuff inafanyika Kiambu Road. Is it Kiambu Road? Thika Road. Is it Thika Road really? Where was it? Kikuyu. Ile siku kwanza tuniachana.
The same day.
The same day there was I don't know if it's a protest what kulikuwa na wase wengi sana kwa barabara. And then makarawa nilikuwa narusha tear gas and all that. And then apparently kulikuwa na a lot of goons also. Walikuwa na stopisha magari, sijui nini wanafanya nini. Na ukiangalia wase hao ni wase wa young. But there's a way politicians wameingiza na box. Na because of where people are, it's easier for me to steal from you, nimepatiwa tao, than for me to come and seek wisdom from you. Because uko na gari, na kusimamisha, na kushukisha, na kuchapa.
Yes.
Alafu naenda. Alafu hiyo pesa ndachukua ni dish ama ni smoke, na ishe. But sasa nimekuacha na trauma, but ningekuwa mjanja ningefikiria ningesema, okay, patana na wewe, why don't I actually just ask you for wisdom? Ndo nijue venye ndatoka hapa. Cause mimi kaa ni mimi, okay, siwezi sema ati mimi nimeshaikuwa goon, but in that specific situation nimepata hiyo pesa, sitakataa. Tachukua hiyo tao. But nimepatana na wewe, kwani ni uongo? Nafikiri ati ndaambia ati nitachukua hiyo tao. So napatana na wewe, mimi nitakwambia ukweli, nitakwambia cheki madam, mimi nimepatiwa tao, tuvurugane. But niko nataka advice. Wewe penye huko uko na gari mimi sina. Ni nini umefanya ama nini unaweza nisaidia nayo nisijipate hapa tena. Lakini pia shida ni moja. Pia wenye wako ndani ya gari hawataki kusaidia wenye wako nje. So kuna hiyo distinction ya it's like there's this movie called The Colony. No, series. It's about like wase wa country ingine wanikujanga wakacolonize a specific place and then they created colonies. The elites hawa katikati and then wale wa chini. So kuna venye hawa elites hawaongeangi na hawa wa chini, but kuna wenye wanaweza pita all of the
middle class.
The middle, they have access to all of them. Wenye wanawafanyia kazi, wana supervise hawa, then wanafanyia hawa kazi. So one of the things I noticed is it only takes that one person that understands all these three people and can connect them to make them see that you need this. Because if these people decide they're not going to work, everything you have collapses. You get? But I don't know why sisi tumefikisha na hiyo place yenye gava, not just Kenya, even in Africa. Like the governments we have and there's someone that was saying this, democracy is slavery in the modern context, because democracy is never really democracy. Democracy only exists if there are haves and have-nots. Kama kuna wenye wako na vitu na kuna wenye hawana. Democracy only exists if truly the true democracy can exist if we have the opportunity to choose the people we want. Because kuna kwanga nako ka illusion ya sijui kama umeshaijua by the way. There is a perception of us going to vote. And then there are people who actually declare that huyu ndo mwenye tunataka ingie. There's that reality. Who is not the president that has that power. Because there are people behind him that gave him that opportunity, that funded the election, that made him get into it. There's a video Jalango was saying, for the people thinking of vying, time ya campaigning, 300 million. Is it? No, 3 million. Is it 3 million per day? No. Have a budget of 300 million. Na hiyo ni senator. Hiyo si governor, si presidency. Ndio maana hizi pesa zote zina lost. Because they know they have to pump money out there. And then there are people who are also funding them even outside of the money they already have. And those people want their money back in profit. So hiyo perspective na hiyo culture yenye tumesha build tukitrikoluku chini, mwananchi akikuona na wewe ni politician, lazima muachie kitu. And then now tukikuja to the context of Africans, how can we liberate ourselves if every single time we are seeing someone, we are not seeing the solutions they are bringing, we're only seeing the pocket he's coming with. Naget?
Yeah.
Na ni kitu serious by the way. Na hiyo ndo kenye imefanya nikienda Ethiopia, I was trying to see Addis Ababa is very developed just because of African Union, because niko nimeenda AU.
Yeah.
Ukitoka Addis Ababa, like Ethiopia is a desert. Ethiopia ina maji, mnajuanga hiyo? As much as iko na the largest dam sahi, like a very vast majority of Ethiopia, like vast land is inaitwanga nini? Is a desert.
Yeah.
Like aina riparian land, my friend, si kama Naivasha ama Nakuru. So when you look at their money system, awana a very good system that accommodates even investors. Yeah. When you look at their social media, when you look at the businesses they are starting, okay, say they're improving.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people who've been coming in and proposing and all that. But I was trying to think of it as this. What if it was what Kenya unasema? Different states.
Yeah.
Ethiopia is a state.
Yeah.
Ama hata kama inaitwa county, whatever. But Ethiopia is a state.
Yeah.
Iko na governor wake. Governor sasa ni president wa sahi. And then all this, what's it called? All the representatives of all these different states and all the different countries.
They're reporting to one.
Yes. Yeah. To one person. And that one person also is accountable to other people. Is not kama Trump. Mwenye amejiweka in a way that atiye sasa ni Mungu and no one else can speak to him.
Yeah.
Tutaenda place mbali sana because Kenya tutakuwa tuna produce, and then this is something that I also noticed in regards to natural resources. Si umesema umeokoka? Okay, Njogu. Umeokoka, si ndio?
Ndio, nimeokoka.
Umeokoka? Hauko sure. Sawa. So so umefanya hivi.
Ni kama yuko sure.
So there's something I've realized. We were talking about dominion with this guy before you guys came.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, do you know one of the main objectives for us on earth is not to worship God?
Yeah, of
Your
course.
objective is not to worship God. Your objective is for you to take dominion over earth. That is the reason as to why you are here.
Yeah.
Is for dominion, not to worship. God akona beings, angels, they are worshiping him constantly. You get?
Yeah.
So the worship is for you, not for him.
Yeah.
Ati haezi lala manze siezi lala Njogu leo ajani worship.
Yeah.
It's for you to align yourself with him.
Good.
You get? But now sasa sisi tume make our lives as only concentrating on kuimba na kuomba, but not understanding the aspect of dominion and the kingdom of heaven manifesting on earth. I was thinking of that now from the context of uku penye tuko sahi. Do you know every single thing that we produce on this land, most of the things that are valuable, from tea, coffee, and the minerals that we have, most of them are exported outside to be refined, multiplied, then brought back for us to buy as Africans. So I was asking, these people have noticed the principle of taking dominion.
Yeah.
Because they understand your context. They are being fruitful, multiplying, subduing, and taking dominion.
Yeah.
Sisi tuna produce tu, tunakuwa na hiyo fruit, but we don't know how to multiply it. And I wouldn't even say we don't know.
Yeah.
I would say the government has been benefiting from it so much from the imports that, because unajua Kenya is more import than export.
Yeah.
Like we export, yes, but hizo exports ndo zinaendanga zinarefiniwa, then we import them again.
Yeah.
And there are people who are benefiting from those imports. So when they hear there is someone that wants to create a refinery ama place flani yenye anajua utatanio tea into different things ama utatanio coffee into different things, they gatekeep. They don't want us to grow. And then sisi tunadanganywa na nini? TikTok. Burukanga. Hiyo ndo kenye tume distractiwa nayo.
Yeah.
So we are always focused. This PLO, I'll still keep on saying PLO Lumumba. There's this video where people were dancing. Na nilikuwa na imagine wewe ndio una lead your hype. So hype jo ako hapo hivyo, ako kwa stage ana lead watu, politicians wana dance, alafu PLO tu ako hapo anaangalia tu watu hivi. He was judged na watu wengi by the way. Anaangalia tu watu hivi na amejam. And one of the things he said was, why is it that as Kenyans, not even Kenyans, Africans, we've been convinced that the highest place we can be is social media dancers. That is the highest epitome of success that we have. Why is it that, and then from comedians to actors to dancers and musicians, those 4 things, and what else? And athletes. Rome. When people wanted to distract people, they gave them entertainment.
Speaking of that, there was this movie, Black Panther. When you get to see the technology and everything, there's a message they're trying to tell. They're saying that Africans, we can do it. You know. So when I'm seeing the movie, is like, when will Africa be this? Because we have resources, we have everything, and the more you're talking about it, like it's about some people trying not to putting boundaries, you know, because they know when these guys get to know, we already know ourselves, but ni kama tume
we don't know ourselves.
Ama I think ni venye tunajiekea limit ama tunandini, but I think we can go more than that.
Do you think we know ourselves?
Are we talking about in the context of
Africans? Do you think Africans know themselves?
Africans, that's an interesting question. I think number one, as much as of course there is a lot of things that we need to do, we should first of all, because again I feel like that question is coming from a point of judgment, and you need to know that Africa is young in terms of, we were just colonized the other day, and sometimes, do you know, by the Kenya peke yake, Kenya, comparing Kenya to states, it's not fair. States is 50 years ahead of us. Walikoloniziwa huko ma 1970s, they've had more than 50 presidents, sisi hata tujafika 10. So in terms of civilization, they are much ahead. So we cannot compare ourselves with them. Like sisi hatujafika hata, like, I don't know, are we in our 60-something years? Tumefika hata 60 years kutoka satu kwenye hiyo independence. Hatujakuwa, ndio, alafu pia, system ya education yenye tumekuwa nayo, my opinion, is that it's a system that came in to train workers. We were not given permission. Mtu kama mimi, ukishamaliza college unaanza kujua mambo ya financial management, ndo unaanza kuona vitu haziwaki, and then now you start to sit down and then now start to question, because there's what you've been put into and there's what you know you need to be, you know. So that is why I feel like now the church now comes in, inakusaidia, because now you're starting to know about God, and then unaanza kuona there's more than what you are trained for. So I'm a bit of a philosopher, and one of the things that I am learning with time is that things don't work the way you think they work, especially here in Africa. I just feel like there are people who have really taken advantage of us for a very long time. Tumekuwa ni kama slaves. It's just, when you umesema kuna hiyo mambo ya democracy, vitu ziko tu, ni vile tu, we are still colonized. It's just that haika hivyo, haionekani. It's in the plain sight, but we can't see because it's wearing a different color.
It's called neocolonialism.
So unapata, wewe unafeel you need to pay bills, you need get kids at a certain age, do this and this and this, but now you're missing the why. Why are you here? You're missing the self-awareness part. You're missing enjoying life. You're missing becoming. You're missing just being, you know. Unamisizo vitu zote kwa sababu kuna system, kuna time frame uko nayo kwa sababu ya society. And swali ilikuwa gani, nimeenda wapi?
Yeah, flowing, endelea tu hivi.
Una flow. But
so unakuja unapata, as in, there's just a lot of things that are going on, and sisi ni victims, sisi Africans. Vitu zingine zinatupata sahi. Unaona kama juzi nimekuwa nikiangalia, I've been so much focused on looking at what the other side of the world is doing. But unaonanga sana tujuangi vitu zenye zinaendelea huku side za eastern side of the world, like China, Korea. Those people are ndio sasa developers or everything, but they are so quiet. They don't even use WhatsApp that you use. They don't use the modern mambo ya social media. In fact, kuna countries nasikianga kuna hizo restriction ya internet because they are so big on investing creativity, and that is now part of becoming who God created us to be. We are creators like our God, you know. Joa anafaa kuwa kuna kitu ame-create. By the end of the day, we are supposed to be leaving a legacy. Tunafaa kuwa tuna become. Like, unafaa kuwa uko place, yani, ile time utadae, umeacha a lot of things that you have created, generations zikikuja. Kama zile pyramids watu wanaendanga kuona Egypt. Huko. Like, like tunaziona tunaona nikaa tuwezi fanya vitu kama hizo. We are supposed to even do more. Like Christ says in the Bible, he said that alituonyesha example, aliset example of the things that we are supposed to do. He came, modeled an example and said tutafanya even greater things. But now, because of selfishness, there are people who just benefit from us being the way we are. Yeah. Tukaekwa kwa system, tukakuwa brainwashed. Ukiona mimi sijaenda university kama wewe unaona, I don't belong to your class. You don't look at me. There's just a place you put me because I'm not as educated as you. Sasa, tuna waste time kwa hizo vitu peti. Hauna degree, sijui haujaoa uko 25, sijui hauendange church, sijui uko kwa kwaya. Sijui uko kwa kwaya, umeokoka, uko unequally yoked. Very petty things zenye, let me tell you, mi usema, mutakuja kwenda heaven, mshangae sana. Wale watu uko unafikiria ndo wanafaa kwenda heaven ndo wameenda. Utashtuka. Unaona mwenye sasa mwenye unaona Jesus ameenda hell. Na pia at the same time utakuja kushtuka sana that heaven is not what you think heaven is.
Yeah. Okay, before we even go on, I have a spanner to throw.
It's okay.
I have a question. Msini malize tafadhali sawa. So my question is this.
Yeah.
When you say we'll be shocked on who we find in heaven.
Yeah.
What do you think is our final destination? As believers, as Christians.
As Christians, okay, number one, nimekwambia mi ni philosopher, so I dig in a lot of different things whereby number one, kwanza hata nani alisema tunaitwa Christians, you know. That's why mimi nasemanga kuna difference between what church preaches, is doing and what the kingdom is, you know. And number one, ukianza kuspend, kama mimi am a believer, ukianza kuspend time kwa Bible, utaanza kufunguka macho uone vitu hata zinafanywa kwa church zingine, uko like, who even said this, you know? Ilisema wapi, ilitoka wapi? And a lot of times people are taking, especially the scripture, my opinion, wanna interpret based on their perspective or what they want to achieve. You see, when you're a marketer or a person in business, you have to make sure that your prospects may buy what you're selling, even if it's something that is harmful, because you need money and you don't even care about them. You just care about but you just want to make sure that whatever you have is marketable enough. So I feel like that is what most churches have done. Yesterday at night, I was in a meeting somewhere with a mentor of mine, and we were talking, and then tukaangalia like, huyu ni msee mwenye ako kwa choir church na anajulikana nini, but amemiss opportunities kabisa kwa sababu ya zile doctrines amefidiwa kwa na church. Nilikuwa nasikia kulia, alafu ana blame God amekosa. Na God ndo anampatia hizo opportunity, but zile doctrine, this doesn't look like it's from God. Ati mtu hajaokoka, mbona ndo ananipea kazi? Pastor Hondo alisema.
So now coming back to my question.
Yeah.
What is the final destination?
Final destination. I just think we were created to dominate, as you have said. And everyone, we there's a piece of God that lives in every one of us. And whether you see, wacha nirudi nyuma kidogo, umewachi story ya Artemis na the people who went to the moon and then they came back. You see, there's just a
which
way,
I think is a lie, but that's a story for another day.
Of which, you see this guy, when he came back, mimi nilikuwa na follow everything hata ikiwa live, nilingojadia asubuhi 4 nikiangalia wakirudi. And this guy, venye alienda huko kwa atmosphere, venye walienda outside, and then wakaona everything, the creation, how things have been created by God, it preached to him. Like this black guy, ili preach kwake, like he didn't even need that. Like aliona hii creation, by the way, ndio vitu ziende vile ziko. There must be, should I?
Just continue.
Or like there must be a creator behind. Like venye world iko, venye aliona vitu outside the space and everything. Like mpaka yeye mwenyewe alikuja aka confess that there must be a God behind all this, because it's beyond kenye sisi tumeona venye tu tuko fenced TV, like ilikuwa beyond, like what was the question?
Okay, acha
final destination.
What is our final destination?
I'm thinking
when what I mean is what happens when we die.
What happens when we die?
Yes,
there are a lot of different stories.
No, biblically.
Or biblically,
because muongelelea heaven, tukienda heaven tutapatana na watu wenye tuko tunajua. So my question is, what is our final destination?
Okay, mimi yenye niliambiwa nikiwa Sunday school. My final destination, and that's what it's keeping me going, it's knowing that it's heaven. You know, so I know when I die,
then heaven,
I'll go heaven.
Nothing else, ndio.
And it's not hell.
This is a question that was posed to me by someone called Joshua Maponga. He's a former, I don't know, he's a former pastor. He doesn't associate himself with the
with the church.
Okay, I'm also not a Christian. We are believers of Christ. So Kenya unasema I agree with, because there's the religiosity which is in Christianity right now that is not speaking about Christ, but speaking about the people who are speaking about Christ. So one of the things he was emphasizing is, if people say heaven is the end result, then why is Revelation saying that the former heaven and the former earth shall pass away? If heaven is the end result, then why is it saying that in Revelation, is it Revelation 21, I think, when the many people in Hades, people who are dead, the people who are alive, will rise up and they'll be judged. There are many books and then there's one book. But that's not the main conversation. The main conversation is a new earth will be formed. Na Christ atakuja na tutadominate na Christ for like 1,000 years. Then devote na atakuja, then hizo ni maneno zingine. But one thing that I never knew is heaven is not the final destination. Heaven is what's called paradise. Nasikia venye Christ aniambianga ule mwizi, that today you shall be with me in paradise. It does not mean that that guy is with God right now ati yako kwa, cause okay, and then heaven is not the final place penye God ako. Heaven is God's throne, because in the beginning, before the beginning was, God existed. Before God formed the heaven and earth, he was somewhere. So we can't say that we can box him in heaven, and before heaven was formed, he was somewhere, and that heaven and earth will still pass away. So where is God? And we also know that he's omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. So he's everywhere and anywhere at the same time. But that's not the main point. The main point is, most people live life expecting to benefit and reap things from heaven. So venye tu niko unaniambia, we don't actually live life. We are waiting to go somewhere so that we can benefit from us being poor, us suffering. Tunajua huko nje sasa tukifika binguni mambo itakuwa sasa swari. Nasikianga the land of milk and honey, tutakuwa hatuna shida. But you forget that God's desire is for heaven to be manifested on earth. He's God, unless you can correct me, Njogu pia. There's nowhere in the Bible that I've read that God's desire is for us to go to heaven.
I think me putting it is, God did not create us so that we wait to go in heaven. If that was the point, he could have just
we could have been created in hell.
Like the way you said, we are brought to dominate. The heaven thing is not like the how can I say it, like
the main agenda.
The main agenda. Of course we will go, but usikuwa unakaa tunasema mimi nangoja kuenda heaven huko ndo nitakuwa this and this and this and this. You know.
And then I think another thing is, we forget, because we are focused so much in going, we forget that heaven is already in us. So you are focused so much in going somewhere that God is saying that place that you want to go to is already in you. So when he manifests himself through you, that is heaven manifesting on earth. So we are waiting so much to experience that thing that pastors have told us. This is why people give. The same guy, Joshua, is a philosopher also. So he was saying a lot of people are giving offerings, tithes, all their salaries to pastors, because wameambiwa your treasures are in heaven. So wewe leta hizi zako tukae nazo, wewe Mungu atakuprovidea. So people give off. Sijui kama mshisikia story ya prophet mwenye anajulikana sasa nani ndo but there's this prophet Sindio,
Shalom.
so now that guy,
Shalom brothers and sisters. Okay.
Shout out to my sister kama ataona hii, but at one point my sister was in that church. Nimeshakupatia story. And
sister yako?
Manze. One of them. And at one point she was giving almost everything she was earning. And then anakuja kwangu. Aniambia, okay. So me I'm wondering why is it that. And then I came to realize she's in this church. And they've been programmed to give almost everything. And this story in kwa news days, mama, the child of the lady, alienda akasu the church because the mom gave everything. The cars, the title deeds to houses. So the child was wondering, how is it possible that this mom is giving everything that she has? And then you realize this thing is very spiritual because these people are not also dumb.
Yeah.
The people that are giving these things are not stupid.
Yeah. But
there's something that the people in these churches have tapped into the spiritual realm, and they see the desires you have in your heart. Yeah. And they twist them. They tell you, if you give this, that thing that you've been praying for will happen. Yeah. You get? Yeah. But that's not the main point. The main point is everything that we're doing right now.
Yeah.
For you to be called a king, that means you have to rule a specific place, a territory. You get? And all of us are kings and priests. You get? Since in the spirit, there is no gender. There is no male, no female.
Kidogo asema queen.
So, since there is no male, no female, as we are living, the desire is to understand that since Christ is in us and he is the one guiding us, that lamp unto our feet and the light unto our path in every single thing that we are doing, every single gift that you have and every single place that you step into, people are supposed to taste something different.
Yeah.
Kama umezoea kutaste skari, hiyo siku unafaa kutaste chumvi. Like someone should know you are there. You get?
Yeah.
But we have that tendency of humbling ourselves to be sugar when we've been called the salt of the earth. And I think that's where Africans are slacking. Because we are waiting for someone to come and liberate us. Like the Israelites. I think Biblia nakwanga. I think we're living the same thing the Israelites were living in, but in just a different dispensation.
Yeah, in that same line of the Israelites, I'm just feeling as you're saying that, if Moses was here today, instead of saying, Pharaoh, let my people go, he would say, God, let your people think.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really powerful thing.
That's a
really powerful thing.
Yeah, because I think the scripture somewhere it says in the book of John that where light comes, darkness cannot dominate. So in sisi tuko na ugonjwa ya ignorance. We don't want to think. We feel like there's a way things should operate. And again, ignorance inakuja na there's a way you've been told that miracles happen, you cannot work. Like you should not work, you should not be a certain way. Because again, for you to go, let's say for example, like somebody giving tithes and those money in church, you're giving it so that God can protect your money, sijui, you can have what protect your family, nini, izo vitu. Not knowing, tuseme tu shida ni ignorance. Because for you to get anything, you have to align yourself in that line and also give yourself as much information as possible that will help you to attract whatever you're looking forward to. So shida yetu ni ignorant, na tunapenda shortcuts, na we don't want to do the work that we know we are supposed to do. It's just more like saying that character requires work. You have to work. And that's why vitu zenye ziko out of character zinakuanga hizi kufanya, and that's why huwa zina trend. You'll never hear people who have character and just the wealthy people wakiwa na hizo dramas, because it takes a lot of work ethic for you to become na wewe kujua ile position yenye uko. Like when you know that God lives inside of you, there's just a level of dominance uko nayo yenye hauna time ya vitu zingine na zingine. Like time yako ni kucreate, because again also we know that the time that we have here is limited. You don't even know that in the next 5 years you'll be here, you know. Kitu kama hiyo ndo, I think the phase that I am in my life, I'm thinking about death a lot, because niko like mbona inakuanga scary hivyo? Like why are we so scared? Like 1 minute you're with me here and 1 minute I am not there. Like what is it that I need to make peace with? And then unakuja kuona this is something that you need to make peace with, because it's going to happen. You need to understand. Pia wewe, in fact, wacha kujiangalia ni kama utai kufa. That's how we look at ourselves. Like you'll never die. You need to have a sense of urgency. Ujue, I will not be here for long. And ukishajua hivyo, now you get into the work. you get into business, unaanza kudominate, unaanza kufanya.
I
don't know much about afterlife, but I know in this life you're supposed to dominate. Yes, there are people who are living in heaven here. See, if you want to go to heaven, hiyo kama hiyo ina exist yenye tunaambiwangwa ya milk and honey, hapa ndo inafaa kwa practice. Umekuwa poa hapa alafu una-expect uko, si utaenda na poverty mindset kama iko. You know, unafaa kuitesta hapa. Na kuna hii book mi waambia wase wasome inaitwa The 4 Agreements by Paul Coelho. Miguel Rodriguez, yeah, The 4 Agreement. That's a book that can really open your mind na ikusaidie ku understand perspectives and where you belong and where other people belong and how, like, even the things you say, how they affect. Because again, I believe by the end of the day, everyone is living in a world that they have created with their own words. Because God lives in you. Now God respects the things you say. If you say negative things, they happen to you. Kona free will. So your life is a result of the things that you have allowed and everything that you have allowed. Kai, how did we get there?
I don't know. It's okay. Yeah. So if this is the final words. Mingekuja mapema tungekaa sana, but next time.
Too bad.
For every single person that is watching, what can you tell Kenyans and Africans?
Yeah.
What can you tell them? The thing that is in your heart. Kenye unafeel unafaa kuambia saa hii. Uangalia tu hii kamera na uambie.
Yeah. Mi Kenya naweza ambia watu that I think especially for us young people, we feel like we have time. Tuachane na hizi vitu mob zenye tuko nazo, sijui who is who, sijui you're competing with who or who is better than you. Just you need to look at your life, because even if you're married, hata kama you're in a family setup or anything, you just need to know that this life that you have been given, you don't know how long you're going to have it. You need to spend as much time as you can in creating and in becoming and enjoying it and just becoming a better person. You see, one thing that I'm learning with the time is that once you become a better person, everything around you becomes better. Once today you decide that this is the life that I want, and then you invest in it, and sometimes you're just a knowledge away, you know. Like for me, there's something that I usually do. If there's something that I do, I want, I align myself. Alignment comes with acquiring knowledge based on hiyo line yenye unataka. And then all of a sudden, ni kama atmosphere ina change, unapata tu there are certain people who are coming in your space.
Yeah.
There are certain spaces that you cannot access, you could not access, but because of who you are from inside, who you believe yourself to be as, you start to access. So hakunanga ati huyu ni wa hii class, ni wewe ndio una decide ile class una belong. Just know that you have limited time and use that time on loving people that you have, enjoying the life that you have, and you will die one day.
Wow.
All
right. For me, it's very simple, very clear. The greatest commandment, love. Africans, we need to love our neighbors, love yourself. It says love your neighbors as you love yourself. You cannot love your neighbor if you don't love yourself. So as Africans, we need to love ourselves. And loving ourselves is not spoiling yourself. No, it's the other way around. So we need to love ourselves.
Yeah.
And when we get to love ourselves, you'll get to be very easy to love your neighbor. Your neighbor is not the one who is living next to you. Your neighbor is anyone who is around you. So Africans, when we get to know that, the greatest commandment, hizo vitu zingine zote zitajialign. And that's why it was the greatest commandment. Yeah.
Moto sana.
Before tumalize, there's something you said. Ati Moses angekuwa hapa, angeomba Mungu aseme awalao.
Let my people think. Yeah, we don't think. We don't like to think.
Oh, please explain that.
Thinking is like, you see, like for example, the things that are happening, especially in the church context, question things. It's okay to question, but now because kila mtu tumekubali vitu kwa sababu certain people that we respect wamesema, it's okay to question. So question inakuja na the fact that you have thought, na it does not sound right to you, and it's okay to stand up na kuuliza, by the way, me, I don't stand with this because of this and this and this. Like question things, don't just follow things because everyone is following them. So thinking comes with just questioning morals, una question government venye kama Gen Z movement venye imekuwa question the government, and now inafanya hata watapull their socks kama wanasikia, kwa sababu wanaona kuna watu wanatuangalia by the way, because tumekuwa tuki-question, tuna study history, vitu zinafanyika hivi. Thinking is also like, for example, you see what we saw that happened in South Africa. Sisi wote tunge stand up na tukondemio kitu. So far I just feel like nobody has said anything. It's like it's okay and it's not okay. You know, South Africa does not belong to you. Tutakufa tutachezi vitu hapa. You know, so just thinking and speaking your truth. Yes, without feeling like just because certain group of people accept this as to be true, it does not mean that you should not question hata kama wewe unafeel uko, or like just speak out.
I feel like I have a lot of questions for you, lakini ni venye time imeisha. So I'd love to invite you again for, and next time nataka ujibu hizi maswali. So. What is thinking? Okay. When you say think, like what is that thing? Because most of the times when we have thoughts, it's not us who are thinking. So what is thinking? Okay. Another thing, what is truth? Because you need to speak your truth. What is that thing, that truth? Hiyo ni nini? And then is it possible for, do you think there's a time in this timeline that we're living in where Africans ataka nini sisi chana na watu wazai, do you think there's a time we will ever unite and just speak and say, by the way, why is it that Kenya exists? Kwa nini tusikuwe tu na Afrika na ikuwe tu like wachiki kutoka hapa Dinax, like unatoka tu hapo nasema naenda Ethiopia leo na naenda Zambia, like na tunaenda na isikuwe story. Why have we accepted when unasema we are thinking? Why have we accepted the borders that we have right now? And then another thing, these are things that next time.
Okay.
So who really told us that we're Africans?
Okay.
Because that word itself is not even from Africa. So when we say we are Africans, what is that? So when we say, because I have a lot of friends who are not Christians, Africans, spiritually, they say we need to go back to our African roots.
Yeah, they are our ancestors' culture. Yes.
But now the question is, what informed their identity? The thing that we want to go back to, what informed that? They got it from somewhere. So where is it? And if all of these questions can be answered, are we willing to also leave it out? Because there's talking about the problem, there's saying that this is the solution, and then there's actually taking initiative to actually do it.
Yes. Actually, the Bible itself says, you shall know them by their fruits.
Yes, not by the verses they speak. Yes. Yeah, so, mimua kwa hapo amecheka yake yote. Sawa pole. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the King's Table podcast. Poleni sana, hii session imekuwa short, but session imekuwa short. Na feel ukisema kitu mara mingi utashema. Yeah, but ladies and gentlemen, this is the King's Table podcast with the one and only
MC Joe the Blessed
and
Maggie.
Handle zenyu by then.
Oh, Instagram just Maggie 9. Imeisha hapo na 9. Just Maggie,
Just Maggie 9.
Yes.
And then
MC Joe the Blessed.
And then Just
Mimo. We are just
girls. Mimo. Why are you just?
We are just girls.
And then Jogure with 3 E's. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been an amazing time. And nimependa sana vitu zenye tumeongea. I feel like there's a lot that we can speak about, because even the script I sent you, we haven't even touched like
umesema tu ni random time.
So maybe God amekuleta hapa through this nigga here so that we can continue the conversation.
Narudidiani guys.
So anarudidiani for those who are seeking his services, by the way, since he's part of Al-Kibulan Youth Kingdom. So for those who are seeking to get to start projects, for those who are seeking to have may it be events, may it be weddings, may it be inaugurations, and tourists who are coming also to Diani, feel free to contact this guy here. Amesema handle yake ni
MC Joe the Blessed.
MC Joe the Blessed. And uko hivyo pia nyuma tuko na a yoga instructor for those who want to get their what is it called, their bodies fluid. So umesema ni Just Mimo. So ladies and gentlemen, wewe sasa tutasema nini?
Mimi actually sikuambia that mimi niko theater, nilingia juzi. I write stories. I love writing stories.
Theater ni different to different people.
KNT. Mimi napenda kuandika. I write and I do digital marketing, making sure that companies iko na good presence and they are meeting their prospects on social media.
Wow. Ndio sasa simemsikiza. Ladies and gentlemen, sisi mnajuanga Kenya sisi tunafanyanga. So from everything leadership to everything identity to everything dominion, getting to connect your present self and your desired future. So from companies to team building to digital marketing to reaching to a point where we connect leaders to leaders and we help you understand your staff better and your customers better. Ladies and gentlemen, be blessed.